Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I show the gameplay by Maxim Pia, and this beautiful game complete in only 24 moves. And let's see how the game play. The game starts with the pawn to d4. Then the black play knight f6. The white continue with a knight to c3 and d5 was played. After this, the bishop to f4. Then a6 was played. And now the white developed e3, preparing to come out another bishop. And bishop f5 was played. Then bishop to d3, trying to exchange off the bishop. And now e6, preparing to come out another bishop, where you can come to b4 and pin the knight. Then the king can go for a short castling. So this is the first 5 move, and you can see that the white is slightly better in this position. And the game continue with the black. The white just capture the bishop and the pawn capture. E takes f5. Then the queen goes to f3. And here you have a 2 pieces attack, the pawn. After this, bishop to b4 was played, trying to pin the knight. Then the bishop goes to g5, trying to pin the knight as well. And this knight cannot move, and the queen can capture the pawn at f5. Then the knight move to knight b to d7, trying to protect the knight. And here the white just capture the free pawn, and here we'll be winning a pawn, and white will be slightly better in this position. So after this, the black just go for castling, and the white develop another knight, knight g to e2, and prepare, can go for a short castling. After this, c6 was played. And here, this is the first 10 move, and you can see white is better because the white is winning a pawn in this game. So the game continue with the white go for a short castling. Black move queen to b6. After this, the rook continue to develop to play rook a to b1, and if you just capture, you can use the pawn capture, and the rook will be attacking the queen. And after this move, the black just move rook f to e8, and now the pawn to a3, trying to attack the bishop. And at this move, the black play bishop to f8, pushing the bishop back to the rank 8. After this, the white play rook f to e1. Then here the black play a5, and the queens to d3. After this, a4 was played. So here, this is the first 15 move, and you can see that the white is better in this game because of winning a pawn. And the game continue with queen knight to g3, and this is a critical path for the knight to play, trying to move from e2 to g3, then to e4 and attack the knight at f6. And this, the white bring up the knight nearer to the king to attack. And this is one of the strategy. As you can see, the black is castling in the king side. So usually we want to bring more of the pieces to attack the king's side. And this will be one of the strategy. In addition, with putting the knight to g3, you can also push the pawn forward and to attack. Then you can just push forward as well if you never capture the pawn by the black. So after this move, the black play queen to a5. Now the white continue to play bishop to f4. Rook a to c8 was played. And after this move, the white play h3. Then the knight to b6. Then now the white push the pawn to e4, as this pawn have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, while the black only have 1, 2, 3. And this pawn, after exchange, the white will be better controlling the center square. So after this move, the pawn just captured, and now the white bring the knight c takes e4, and this knight will become nearer to the king. Then the knight capture, and you can see at this position the white is now getting better. And after this, at the move 21, the knight just capture the knight, and you can see that the white is better because you have many piece control in the center of the square. Then the game continue with queen to d5, and after this the bishop to e5, blocking the queen, and now the queen cannot move to the rank 5 at fg and h file. And in this position, let's say if you move the pawn to play f6, after move the pawn to f6, then here you have played a sacrifice such as bishop capture, and if you capture with the pawn, then the knight will capture and check the king and attack the rook and also attack the queen, and this will be the royal fork. And after the king move to any of this square, the knight are able to capture the queen. And if you make a bad move such as move the king to h8, then you just have a simple checkmate with the queen takes the h7 pawn. So after bishop to e5, you cannot move the pawn to f6, and this will be a blunder, and the white will be winning the game. And at this position, the suggestion move will be move queen to e6. After this, if the move the knight continue to attack, knight to c5 trying to attack the queen and also attack the pawn, then here now you can move back the queen to d5, and if you capture the pawn, then the knight will go to c4, keep on the attack and able to attack the pawn, and also have the idea to attack this one. And now the rook also can go to b2 and attack the knight. So if you make any move such as a king away, then you can now push the pawn forward to attack the pawn. And example, if you move the king back, then you can just capture the pawn, and now if you use the bishop to capture, then the rook will be able to capture, and if you use the rook to capture again, and now the queen will be able to attack the knight. And in this position, the black will be winning a piece. So back to the position. The reason why you push the bishop, the pawn to here to attack the pawn, you also allow the queen to attack the knight as well. And if you capture with the knight, then the knight will just capture the bishop. And if you capture with the rook, then the rook can just capture, and if you capture the rook again, then the queen will just capture the knight, and in the action, the black will be winning a piece ahead. So therefore, queen e6 will be a better move to defense. And in the actual game, after bishop to e5, the white play the black play a c5. The black is losing the game, as after this move, the white will be winning and mate in 6. I give you a couple of seconds to figure out how the continuation of the white to play and mate in 6. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer. And for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the moves that the white play and win the game. And in the actual game, after this move, the white play knight to f6, and this is a check with the knight, and also attack the rook, also attack the queen, and this is a royal fault. So after this move, the pawn capture and g takes f6, then now you have a queen to g3 and check the king. And after this, the bishop will capture the pawn and continue to check the king. So after queen to g3, and in this move at move 24, the black resign the game. And if you want to continue the game, if you move the king away, such as move king to h8, the bishop will just capture a pawn and check the king again. And again, the queen is controlling the g file, and this prevents the king to come out to the g file. And if you block with the bishop, the queen will just capture, and it will be a checkmate. And after this move, if you block with the bishop, then again the bishop will just capture the f6 pawn, and now nothing can protect the bishop at g7. You can't move the queen to g5 because the bishop can capture, or the queen can just capture it and continue to check. So if you just want to delay the checkmate, you can just move the queen to g5, and the queen will just capture, and now nothing can prevent the bishop at g7 from being captured. So if you just use the rook to capture or check and to delay the checkmate, the rook will just capture. And after this, any move from the black, the queen will just capture the bishop, and it will be a checkmate. You can move the knight to d5, then the queen will just capture, and it will be a checkmate. So the beautiful idea at this game would be a very brilliant knight sacrifice at the move 23, and this sacrifice also named as the royal fault. And with this, thank you.